Hey y'all. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about tonight on this video is sampling people, alright? So there is a way that's worked for me that I want to share with y'all. And it's super, super important. So this is the way I look at it. You get one chance to make an impression when you're sampling someone. So you want to make sure that you do it right, because if they don't love it, if they don't see any huge difference, they're probably not going to purchase it, or they're probably not going to be interested in trying another sample. Like, oh wait, can I get a redo on this if they don't love it? Sorry the way I look. I don't really understand why I look like this. Hey, Minnie. So I'm doing a little training for my market partners on sampling. I do understand that some of market partners on other teams are on here, and that's totally cool. This is the way I do it. This is the way I encourage my team to do it. And, I didn't make it up. Monat did. Why do I look like this? I look run down. I am so tired, y'all. Like, my hair schedule has gotten, out of control. I've been so busy. And there's just not enough time each day. You know what I mean? Okay, so when I sample someone, I normally do not send the Monat hair quiz, okay? The reason is because when I don't sleep. Hardly ever. No, I really do. I sleep, I'm a night owl. I normally sleep till 10 in the morning. I go to sleep normally 2-ish. That's kind of my bedtime. I normally don't take my first client till 11. So, but anyways, the way, so I do not ever send the Monat hair quiz before I sample someone. Here's why. First of all, when I started Monat, the hair quiz did not exist, okay? So I created my own questionnaire on Google Docs or Drive or whatever it is. And the reason I did that is because I didn't have time to ask them all these specific questions about their hair and, what they were looking to do or whatever, which it really didn't even matter that I know all that stuff before I send them samples, because I'm going to send them the same exact thing. But I like to know all these things about their hair so I can, recommend a great system for them, because I am confident that when they try these samples, the way I send them, they are going to purchase, okay? That's all there is to it. Majority of the people will purchase the products after they try select sampling. So might as well learn a little bit about their hair, build a friendship, relationship, whatever, build a connection with them. They don't need to know that you don't really need to know that stuff depending on the samples that you're sending. They don't need to know that. It's irrelevant. I like to know that, but I don't have time to always ask them all this stuff personally. In message, text, all that. Oh, did I miss a question? So I created a hair questionnaire on Google Drive, and that is what I require them to fill out before I send them samples. It's mainly a way that I keep up with who I have sent samples to, because that's how I make my money is I sample. When I first started, I would really make it a priority to send out 20 sets of samples a month, okay? The $50 set, you get 20 of each, Revive, Revitalize, Mask, Oil. It's $50, that's 20 people, and every 4 VIP customers that you get, that's a $60 bonus. So if you can get 4 VIP customers out of 20 sets, then you're going to make your money back. So that's how I justify spending that. Maybe I wouldn't give out a whole 20 each month, but I always tried to. In the beginning, it wasn't really hard to send out a good 10, 15. Now, I don't really send out that much because, I don't have that many people, wanting them. I'm pretty much everyone's already a customer, whatever. So I do probably send out 5 a month. And it's kind of sometimes I just give people samples. But last month, I didn't give out a whole lot, but I did 3 wine and washes. So, sampling someone doesn't have to be sending this in the mail. It could be in my salon. It could be wine and washes. It could be letting someone borrow a full-size bottle, like, in the select sampling. So there's different ways to do it. You can actually, if you don't have samples, I've even put it in cups before, like with lids, like condiment cups. You put ketchup for a picnic in or whatever, by the like paper plates in Walmart. I've done that before. I've never mailed that, but I have. When I first started and I didn't have money to buy samples, I literally would squirt Revitalize mask in these little cups, and the oil. I've even put the oil in a cup before. I think I had the oil packs when I did that, so I gave them the pack. But anyways, there's always ways to do it. You don't have to have money to buy more samples. You just need to have used it in this, this combination together to know what they're going to experience, and that's what you need to sample them. So I do sometimes tell them, like, this is not necessarily what I would recommend you buy when you make your first purchase, but this is what I want you to try so you're able to see what Monat's capable of doing. Okay? So I always start with Revive. They're going to get a Revive. They're going to get a Replenish mask, a Rejuvenate oil, and a Revitalize conditioner, okay? Always. They are never, ever not going to get a Rejuvenate oil and a mask. They will not get anything from me if these two right here are not included, okay? These two are considered treatments. They're not going to need to buy this necessarily right in the first. They're not going to need to do this every time if they do buy it, okay? This is a treatment. This is what's going to blow their minds, all right? I mean, it's all going to blow their mind together. But I didn't make this up. Monat did. This is called select sampling. So this is not something that, I came up with. This is what Monat recommends, and it has worked for me. Anytime I did not send it like this, they didn't buy it. They weren't impressed. One time I sent it without the oil, okay? And they literally were not impressed. Okay, the way they use this all is very important also. If you do not get them to use this the proper way, they're not going to be, they're not going to want it. So the problem I was running into with this oil is some people hear oil, they have oily hair, and they're like, oh, I'm not going to put oil in my hair, where it says to, use it as a dry finish at the end. Well, people who are like, some people, like, some girls are like, I don't want to put oil in my hair, it'll make it greasy. They don't know anything about it, they don't understand. So your main thing is you have to get this on their hair. So the only way that you're going to be able to do it is to use it in the beginning. I have them do a pre-shampoo treatment 15 to 30 minutes prior before they use the shampoo. The reason 15-30 minutes is because when I told them to do it overnight the night before, they never had a chance to do that, or they forgot or whatever. So the overnight, thing, I just cut that out. 15-30 minutes. Put it on your scalp, brush it through your hair, shampoo 30 minutes later. All right, the longer the better. If you can do overnight, that's fantastic. Save a little bit for a dry finish for your ends at the end. If they want to do that, they will. But it's already on their hair, so they're going to be blown away. So they're going to Revive, then they're going to do the mask, and then they're going to not rinse the mask. They're going to put the conditioner right on top of the mask after it's sat and rinse them both off at the same time. That's the only thing I care about them doing that way. On occasion, depending on their hair, what they've been using, I may send 2 Revives, okay? If they have a lot of hair, or if they have been using something like Dove that has a crap load of like wax buildup, silicone stuff in it. It's horrible. So sometimes I will send 2 shampoos, and not always Revive, okay? Because I don't like to break up my 20 sets, okay? I don't want that. Like I'm not going to. Normally I staple them together, and that's it. And whatever's left over, loose, that's what I use. Or I'll buy more. I do not ever break up my sets. I staple them together. So say I have Intense Repair shampoo just chilling. Okay, I have no use for this in my select sampling sets. So if I have somebody that uses some Dove shampoo or Pantene or whatever, or they have a ton of hair and I'm worried that they may not be able to get a really good lather with just one pack, I may send this Intense Repair shampoo just because it's super, super clarifying and I want them to use it on their first shampoo so they can get a really good experience with this one. Okay, so I don't know if some of y'all on here know or not, but I have a PDF that I have. It's a pamphlet. I print it and I fold it and put it in there. So this was my old one. So in that case, I would scratch out where it says shampoo using half the pack of Revive. I would scratch that out and say shampoo using whole pack of Intense Repair. And then I would scratch out, now for second wash, use the rest of the pack of Revive. I would scratch that out and I would write use whole pack, half pack or whole pack if necessary of Revive. So I will always send Revive Revitalize Mask Oil, and then possibly in some scenarios I may send something else as well to go along with this. But I will scratch out my directions that I always use the same ones and adjust it that way. If I really like them, I may send them a Rejuva split-end mender, but most of the time I don't, because how I send my samples in this from Amazon, this weighs exactly 2.0. I do not go to the mailbox and I do not pay $4 to ship these. I literally use a Forever stamp and a 21-cent stamp. That's 70 cents. If I put a Rejuva split-end mender in here, I have to put another stamp on it. So I like to maximize my samples and get them on as many people as possible for as cheap as possible, okay? So I already know they're going to buy the products. They just need to try this just like this, and they can get Rejuva beads on their first order. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm not going to waste. When I buy the stamps and I buy the samples and these, I have just enough for that many to go. And if I do anything else, it kind of messes with that. So I don't like to do that. It'd be different if we could run to Walmart and buy some more of these, but we can't. So when I order them that way, that's the way they're going to be. And that's just the way I've done it. Anytime that I have ever steered away from that, it hasn't gone well. So Revive, Revitalize, Replenish, then oil. Well, yes. So I have them use the oil first, okay? Sometimes I just say it that way, Revive, Revitalize, Mask Oil. So they can use the oil at the end as a dry finish. But you have to make sure that they use this oil. And you can mix it with your mask if you want to do that. I just have them do it out of the shower because I just don't, you can't always trust that they will. I also have a video that I've done for them to listen to if they don't have a chance to read this. People do not follow directions, y'all. So whatever you have to do to make sure that they're following the directions, it's very important because you've got one chance to blow their minds with this and you want to make sure they do it right. So whatever works for you, that's worked for me. I recently did a video. I send that to them too because their kids may be bothering them. They're trying to read this. They're like, oh my God, what is all these instructions? Like, seriously? I did that. Okay, what else? Oh, so in your market partner kit, they just put all kind of stuff in there. You're going to use those samples. I mean, you don't even have to use them. Don't even stress out about them, but just do not give them, oh, here's a set, a shampoo and a conditioner, here, try that. Don't do that. Like, you're really wasting your time. You're wasting stamps. You're wasting your samples because it's not going to go well. Now, if you're sampling a guy, normally, I would just sample them the black 2-in-1, or maybe just a Revive and Revitalize. I don't really sample guys. Like, I sign them up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to prove anything to a guy. Like, it's not like their hair is going to be, if they're bald or thinning or whatever, then they don't need a sample because a sample of black is not going to grow their bald spot back after one sample. So they need to have 30 days using it. Okay? So I don't normally sample a guy. Sometimes if they have they want to see how it smells or whatever. I've put it in a cup, given it to someone, that's local. He's a VIP. He loves it. But yeah, you can, ask me if you have a question about sampling someone that, is a guy, or, maybe a woman. Maybe it's a woman that's thinning or going through some health issues. And maybe that, the best thing for, most people that just have long, damaged, ugly, whatever hair, like regular person with, that's complaining of frizz or damage or whatever, hair below the ears, are going to get select sampling. Someone that may be, just getting through like chemo and losing their hair and they want to grow it back, that's going to be a little bit of a different, scenario, and we can discuss that as they come up. But anytime that someone is, and then so the hair quiz. So with the one that I created, so I'm able to go back and go through that. Sometimes they get the samples and they don't try it right away, and maybe I forget that I sent them to them. So I can go back through that and see, oh wow, I never heard back from her. So I can message her, and I can. So then when they love it and they're ready to order it, then they're like, okay, so what system should I get? Okay, well, if I would have asked them all that stuff in a message 6 months ago or 1 month ago, I'm going to have to scroll through those messages to find that stuff or ask them again. Okay, so that's rude. We don't want to ask them again, and we don't have time for that. You got to work smarter, not harder. So when they say, okay, what system do I need? I'll say, hold on 1 second. And so I go back to that Monat, that hair quiz that I created on Google, and I go back through all those questions that they answered. And so I'm able to come up with a pretty good system, for them just by going back to that. So I'm not having to bother them, not having to waste time. All right, so sometimes I will say, would you fill out this Monat hair quiz? I don't always go with what it recommends, but I'm curious to know what it would recommend. So fill that out for me real quick and let me know when you're done. So sometimes I'm able to get kind of if I'm just kind of clueless, that helps me get started on what I would recommend for them. But in most cases, and like I said, there's other market partners on here that are not on my team. They may do it differently. This is what works for me. I normally start people off with Revive shampoo, mainly because I don't care if they need volume or not. I don't care. Revive is pretty clarifying, and so most people that haven't been using Monat have a lot of buildup, and Revive is going to remove a lot of that buildup faster, okay? It's going to get them through the transition faster, okay? That hair quiz may say they need the smoothing shampoo. Well, that hair quiz doesn't know that they have been using Pantene for 25 years, okay? That smoothing shampoo is going to make their hair greasy because it's not as clarifying, so it's not going to remove the buildup fast as the Revive will. So most of the time I start them with the volume system, or I mix and match and create. The volume system is the only one that includes the Revive shampoo, okay? So I have been starting people with Renew because I realized it is kind of clarifying now that the hydration and the restructuring is a thing. But so Revive or Renew are my go-to for their very first system. So I may say smoothing, it did recommend smoothing for you, but that may be something that you use later on. Most likely it will be. But right now, I'm going to recommend the Revive shampoo because it's more clarifying and it's going to remove the buildup faster. So you're able to see the real, faster results from what this product can do. So we got to get the buildup off your hair first. It will become drying, okay? After about a month, they're going to say, oh, I loved it, but my hair is kind of dry. Perfect. That's expected, all right? So now we're going to switch them into Renew. They can use Revive and Renew, first wash, second wash. So always shampoo twice. Don't forget it. All right, so That is normally how I do this. I like to start them off with more clarifying. If they have hair thinning or something like that they're dealing with too, instead of the volume system, I would do a Revive and I would do the Intense Repair Conditioner. I never, ever, ever, ever recommend the Intense Repair shampoo to anyone. Like, I literally could probably wash my bottom of my tennis shoes with that and be okay with it, because it is really, really strong and it is really, really clarifying. And I just don't feel like it is necessary to use on a regular, okay? So the black and the Intense Repair Conditioner have double the amount of Capixyl in them for faster hair growth. All of our products have the hair growth ingredient in there. Most of them. All of the shampoos in our systems contain Capixyl. So Intense Repair Shampoo, Black Shampoo, Intense Repair Conditioner have double the amount of Capixyl. So if they're looking for growth or areas that are thinning, all of our shampoos are going to make the hair grow, okay? So sometimes when you jump in and go for the one with the doubled amount, it's a little too much. It kind of causes a little extra shedding in the shower. And sometimes if you get the right person, that will freak them out and they're out. They're done. They're like, oh no, I can't do this. So if you start them with our basic stuff, they're going to get results. You want to just get them in, and start using something that's not going to be tragic or shocking to them. So I prefer to just start small and not go straight into the hair growth products like the black, the Intense Repair Conditioner, the Intense Repair Treatment Spray. I don't do that. That is way too much for me, and I'm just not comfortable, going in that hard with them as far as recommending the products. So yeah, if y'all have any questions on that, let me know. So if they are looking for, I feel like the Intense Repair Conditioner is a really universal conditioner. I feel like the Revitalize is a little drying. The Intense Repair Conditioner is one of my favorites to recommend with Revive, because it's really nourishing. It gives you that slip, and it also can be applied to the scalp, to the ends, from the scalp to the ends. So that's going to give them that extra, boost of Capixyl to speed up the hair growth or the areas that are thinning. So, Rejuvenique oil is not normally in their budget the first time, but if there's ever a flash sale or anything, you want to get the oil, want them to get the oil. That is going to also help with, the hair growing if they want longer growth or areas filled in. The Rejuvenique oil is our signature product, so it is what sets us apart from anything else. It's infused into most all of our hair products, okay? So they want to have that as a separate, they want to have that by itself, because you can do 101 things with that, but it is going to be the key thing that's going to help you love the products to the fullest, okay? So when setting up their second flagship, I like to, encourage the Rejuvenique oil be, sometimes I'll do the stylized system as their second flagship, and then the Rejuvenique oil as their third. And so I'm going to let them know that they're not going to need to use anything else. They're not going to, using other outside brands is basically, wasting your time. If you're using Monat, you need to stick with only Monat products. So finding out what all they use, with their hair routine right off the start, you need to find that out. If they are someone that uses hairspray all the time, you need to know that. So you can tell them they need to get the hairspray as soon as possible. If you're using Monat shampoo and some cheap hairspray, they're not going to get anywhere. They're not going to love it. So it's going to kind of fight each other. It's not going to be good. It's kind of like you hate your hair. It is horrible. People I know that have used another shampoo because they like forgot theirs, went out of town or something like that, they hated their hair. They immediately noticed. So if they're using Monat shampoo and another brand hairspray, they're not going to like the shampoo. They're going to think that it's the shampoo that they don't like. And really what it is, it's their cheap hairspray fighting the hairspray. So you're taking off the buildup, then you're putting it back on. Taking off the buildup, putting it back on. It's just a horrible battle. Like it's not going to be good. So you need to know that too. Sometimes they can't always not use their gel or something like that right in the beginning. So that's why you want to make sure when you get them set up with the reverse system that they're getting everything that they need to be, comfortable with their hair routine. If there's someone who likes to put in, gel or mousse or something like that and let it air dry naturally, then you're going to want them to have the mousse. It also depends on, sometimes it depends on what the, so the intense repair shampoo will go later, right? I don't ever recommend intense repair shampoo. I'll send you some and you can try it and you would be like, oh, hell no. It is hardcore. It is literally, I could probably clean, a tile floor with it. It is stout. I do not, the only reason to recommend intense repair shampoo is if they have severe hair loss, thinning, falling out in clumps. Okay, and the reason is because when you start to use the hair growth, shampoos, it causes the old hair to shed faster because the new hair is coming up. So they're going to start shedding a lot if they're using that. And if they got a head full of healthy hair and they're a female and they're coming out in the shower, they're going to be like, I'm out. I'm done. Made my hair fall out. That crap. So hair shedding and hair loss is two different things, but not everyone knows that, and that's okay. But sometimes they don't even care when you try to explain it to them. So you just want to avoid anything like that. So if it's going to cause more hair shedding, why would I recommend that to someone? So I have to explain that? No. I don't want them to freak out or think that their hair's falling out. I just want to keep it, just normal. I don't want to have any, elaborating or explanations or articles or arguments or whatever. We got other things better to do than spending our time explaining ourselves or defending our company. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to avoid it altogether. That's what you never ever want someone to just go on your website and order, because they're not going to order the right thing. They always order that intense repair because it said, let it grow. No, let it go is what they need to do. But if somebody has severe thinning or they're going through chemo and they're losing their hair, I'm not going to recommend intense repair shampoo. I really am not. I do have a man that uses it and he loves it. It's fine. But a female with long hair below their ear, they're not getting that. No, it's not going to be good. If they get their hair colored, it dries it out. It is hardcore, okay? Your hair will be clumped together in a matted, hard mess if you shampoo your hair with that. It feels like I don't know, it's just not necessary. Like I said, I will use it, and I have used it in the salon for the first wash to remove the buildup, okay? But, you got to use conditioner after that, a mask, something, and it'll feel normal again. But they don't know that, okay? And they don't need to use this as a only every single day shampoo. I don't think that it's necessary. I would say black if you wanted them to have that hair growth ingredient shampoo. Because it's a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, so it's not as clarifying. So, okay, what else? Any questions? Do you have any questions? Trying to think. So, yeah, another thing is I don't ever tell anyone if I'm out of samples. I'm constantly working on a sample list. If I send them that questionnaire and they fill that out, that doesn't mean I'm sending them samples tomorrow. I may next week. I may that week. I may not even for a whole month. It doesn't matter. Whenever I get around to it is when they get samples. I don't say, I'm going to send them tomorrow. I'll say I'll get them to you ASAP. So they don't ever need to know whether you're out or you ordered them or they're coming. You just let them know that they're on your sample list to be expecting samples. The reason why is because somebody else could message them, say they joined, ask them if they want samples. They will say, no, I've got a girl already sending me samples, okay? But if they ask, do you want samples? Oh, well, this girl was sending them to me, but I think she's waiting on her, waiting to order some. They're going to go ahead and jump in, and they're going to send the samples, and that person's going to send them before you do. So you don't need to tell anyone if you're out of them. You just work on a sample list, and that's none of their business. And so you just have a sample list going at all times, and never, ever, ever, ever run out of samples, okay? So I know that money is sometimes tight with people. It was with me, I understand. But when you get caught up with money, you keep these samples rolling in, okay? This is how I've been successful. This is how I make my money. I don't need to talk about it, tell the ingredients. I don't need to sell it to them. I don't even need to post on my Facebook. I can message anyone and feel comfortable saying, hey girl, I'm sending out free samples. Do you want to try some? Or, hey girl, I'm sending out free samples. I'd love your address so I can send you some free samples. Like, I'm not even asking. Like, I'm straight up saying I'd love to send them to you. I'd love your address so I can send you some. They're like, okay, they respond back with an address. In that case, I may not send them the hair questionnaire. But sometimes if I don't and I send them the samples, I say, hey, will you fill this out real quick? This is how I keep up with who I've sampled. They're like, yeah, sure, go ahead. I've done that before. You just want to get it on people's hair, and that's all there is to it. Get it on their hair, okay? And, yeah, that's what I do. So I don't do it any other way. They're not getting samples unless there's a mask and oil. Haisha, sometimes if it is someone with, naturally curly, ethnic, African-American, whatever, Italian girl hair, and it's insane, like, got that coarse texture. I have sent Renew and Restore with the mask and the oil instead of Revive and Revitalize, but most of the time I don't have those two because they don't come in that $50 set. So I may say to them, I actually don't have the shampoo that I'd prefer to send you. The only thing I have right now is Volume. So maybe I will just, hit you back when I do have that one. And they'll be like, oh, no, it's fine. Volume is good. Okay, cool. Well, this may not be the one that you order when you do, but that's just the one that I have now. So, just use it and see if you like it. And just know that it may be a little too drying or too much volume for your hair type. So it probably wouldn't be the one you order. They're like, okay, that's fine. So yeah, they try it. They love it. It may be a little too poof. And that's okay because we already told them that may not be the one that they order. So I definitely don't use Revive on my hair anymore. I prefer Renew. But yeah, so that is how I do it. And that's how I wanted to tell y'all. If y'all have any questions though, let me know. A few months. Yeah, so it's okay if they have the Intense Repair, but I just don't recommend it as their very first shampoo or the only one. Like, I have one in my shower right now, if I wanted to clean my towel. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know why it's in there, but it is. But no, I'm not scared to use it. I just don't. That can't be the only one. That's not going to be good if it's their only one. If they have, like, long hair and, like, want it to be, like, pretty and long. It's just going to dry it out. Okay? So I will talk to y'all later.